All right, welcome back to the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and we got a very, very special guest here. We have the great Darren Woodson, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 4-time All-Pro, and Hall of Fame finalist once again. Darren, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I wonder what's wrong with your boy here.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I walk up and you like, something's wrong,
No,
man.
no.
You're in a bad mood, man.
No. I'm in a great mood, man.
So Darren, a little insight here. You want to know what's wrong? The first 2 days, they had rock stars available at the front, right? So we got our caffeine. We got it in. We've relied on that the last 2 days.
They didn't have it?
They don't have it. This coffee ain't doing it, Darren.
I get it. No, I get that. That's me, too. I got to have a good cup of coffee.
I might have went out with Shannon Sharp and those guys last night a little bit, too.
Hey. Okay.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Michael was there, Warren Sapp was there.
Now you name dropping.
Former teammate.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now why you so sluggish.
Sluggish. I'm not sluggish. I'm okay. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
How's this week for you?
Life is good, man. I'm getting back from a company retreat in Palm Beach.
Right.
Nice.
So I came back this way. I flew back instead of going back to Dallas. I flew straight back from here, from Palm Beach to here, and I got energy and rested I'm ready to go, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Another Super Bowl, another week. You're up for the Hall of Fame. Butterflies, excitement. What's your mindset going into this Hall of Fame?
Man, it's always, look, she'll always look at it as it's one thing that I wanted, of course. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you I did not want to be recognized as one of the best players to play the game. I mean, that's hands down. But it's also family as well. It's mom, it's everybody that teachers that poured into me all those years, man. And they're asking me all the questions about the Hall of Fame and coaches and teammates and all. And I want to get in for the dudes that I played with in the '90s, man. I want the defensive guys. We got a lot of offensive guys that are in, but there's some dudes on the defense side of the ball, man. I just want to recognize them.
Right, and that's my point when I look at it. And everybody thinks about the team in the '90s. They talk about the triplets and the offensive guys. But you guys have the number one defense in the league.
Yeah.
And the defense needs to be represented, and needs to be represented more than just by Charles Haley. And Dion was just there for one of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about 3-time Super Bowl champion, that team, the foundation of that team, you need to be there to represent that defense
I want to represent
in that era.
Yeah.
And you deserve to be there. It's not you need to be there. You should be in there.
Them dudes taught me how to be a pro, man. I woke up every day with Tony Tolbert and Larry Brown and Kevin Smith and James Washington, Thomas Everett. I mean, dudes that every day taught me how to be a pro.
Right.
And I want to recognize them. When I get up on that stage and I put that jacket on, dude, they're going to be there, and I'm going to recognize each and every last one of them.
Right. And you finish your career as a team all-time leading tackler. And the game has changed. I mean, people understand that you were a safety, but you played nickel corner. You covered the likes of Jerry Rice.
I could play today.
Exactly.
I can play today.
You can play today.
My game transitions.
Right.
Hands down.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I've talked to people and they say Darren Woodson was ahead of his time a little bit with it. I mean, how much do you think that you would actually fit in today's world?
It would have been easy because that's exactly what I did my entire career. I probably played safety the least.
Right.
I played 2 Super Bowls as the nickel corner, basically, and or linebacker. I did a little bit of everything, but I enjoyed it because I learned how to do a lot. I have the versatility when I was in college. Lovie Smith, who was my position coach, taught me how to cover, how to blitz, how to play zone. And then when I got into the league with Dave Campo really sharpened me up, and then Zimmer put the cherry on top. But it was just the fact that I just knew that I could do a lot of things and run down on special teams. And look, I can tell you this. I think I have more surgeries. I had 11 surgeries, and most of them are probably from special teams.
Right, running down special teams.
Running through that brick, that wall, right?
Yeah.
This transitioning from that era to this current era as a 3-time Super Bowl champion, you're getting ready to come up on your 30th anniversary since that last title in 1995.
30 years.
30 years. Cowboys have not sniffed the Super Bowl.
I would have never have thought since we won that last one. If you would have said it's going to take you another 30 years, I'd have said you're out of your damn mind. Right. Just because of the organization. Look, we're still talking about the number one franchise in sports.
Right.
Regardless, I haven't been there in 30 years, and we're still talking about the number one franchise in sports. Right. And this organization needs to get back there. But it doesn't start it's not like it starts from going out and drafting guys or whatnot. It starts from up top. Right. You got to make the right decisions up top, and then it bleeds down into, the players, and then the players firmly believing in the culture and what the task is at hand. That doesn't change from business. I'm a business owner. It doesn't change from football to business. If you understand what the task is and what your role is within the organization, and then you have something to build on. And I think that's what we built on early on when I came in. You kind of knew who the guy was. It was Jimmy, hands down. So it was Jimmy, and Jimmy told everyone else. And it started with Troy, and he used to always say, it rolls downhill, right? Because could you imagine when practice was going bad, Jimmy would rail at Troy, and guess who Troy would rail at? The rest of us, right? So that's how, but you understood what the mentality was, and I'm not sure if they're there right now. That's the problem. And I'm not, look, here's the thing. I'm not in that locker room.
But you're in that building.
No, I'm in the building. My business is in the building. I can see it, but I'm not in that. And I'll just throw it out there, man, because I see a lot of the guys out, I see Dak, and I see, some of the players, and I'm not in that locker room, man.
Right.
I kind of know what it takes.
Right.
And it takes a commitment that you cannot believe. It takes the same commitment that the dude that's playing in this for the third straight year, like his commitment, Mahomes' commitment to that organization and to those players, it takes that type of commitment. And when they see him play at the highest level and do the right things in the offseason and prepare and all, that's what it takes. And I'm not sure, what the Cowboys or how they look at it. I know this. I can look out the window. My office oversees the field. I see 4 out there all the damn time.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Season ends, 2 weeks later, 4 is out there throwing balls.
Right.
Like, I know he's got it. Does everybody else have it?
Right.
And that's the thing. You can't. There's an off-season program. You know what the off-season program is? It's called voluntary mandatory. You show your ass up. If you want to win, you show up. And I don't know if everyone's showing up.
Well, you talk about that trickle-down effect with Dak Prescott, obviously being one guy that's a proponent of it, but how much more would you need from that locker room then to have the trickle-down?
You got to have – everybody has to buy into it. It's not like you have to be the best team. You don't have to be the best team, but if you can buy into whatever it is, whatever the goal is, and, again, it's leadership from the top, it's the coaching staff, but then it's the players firmly believing that they have a goal. And that goal is to win a championship. And there's nothing else that's going to get in the way of it. Family's not going to get in the way with it. Beef inside the locker room. He's making more money than I'm making. It is do your job.
How about the owner? Does he get in the way? Does he get in the way?
I think. It all starts from the top.
Right.
I'm a business owner, right?
Right.
Things ain't going well. Guess what? It starts with me.
Right.
And I don't think that Jerry's deflecting from that. Jerry understands that. He's got the opportunity, man. That's the life about Jerry right now.
Right.
The number one franchise in the world.
Right.
Haven't won a championship in 30 years.
Right.
The number one – you ain't hearing me.
I hear you.
The number one franchise in the world.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it more focused on being the number one franchise than football? Is it more focused on being the richest franchise in sports than football?
That man
you serve two masters?
Look, that man is the most competitive man I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
He just ain't got it right. And he deserves the criticism. He does. As a GM,
right.
He deserves the criticism for not getting there. But you can't tell me that he doesn't understand it, and he's not running from it. He's trying to get back there. I hear this all the time. Well, he's not trying. This no, damn that dude. He's trying. He just ain't figured out the formula.
Right.
Do you think you talked about being a business owner and, hey, it starts with me, right? And obviously we talked about the Forbes list. We talked about how that is successful for the Cowboys. Do you think it is harder, though, to change your ways and start with you as a business owner when, hey, we have this going right? And I think that we'll get this other part right. We've done it before. We'll get there. Is it harder?
Yeah, it is
to
hard,
change?
man. It really is. It's hard, but if anybody understands that, he should understand that because he's had so much success in his businesses and all. But you have to roll with the punches. Things change. Things change. The mindset changes. The way you build a team today is totally different than how you built it 10, 15 years ago. And they gotta adjust and roll with some of those changes. Look, there's some things that I see all the time. I won't say it here, but there's some things that I see, and I'm sure there's some things that you see, and you say, man, they could get better at this if they just like this offseason.
Right.
My criticism is this offseason. You had an opportunity to get better this offseason.
Nothing to get better.
And you didn't do anything.
They weren't all in.
And that's criticism that's coming from a guy like myself that's looking outside in. I always feel like I have the Cowboys. I know all the problems. Hey, you can do this, A, B, C, D, until you're in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Until you're in the business, and you're like, oh, no, it doesn't work that way. But I do feel like there's some opportunities that they have as far as player acquisitions that they can go out and get.
What's your opinion on Shoddy replacing Mike McCarthy? Offensive coordinator, did not call plays. Nobody else was looking to make him head coach. Nobody else was looking to make him the offensive coordinator. But yet he's the Cowboys head coach.
You know what, man? It's like you I made this comparison to my wife earlier. She was talking about, like politically you have presidents that come in and, when the president comes in, I don't care who it is. Right. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Obama. I'm going to support whoever the president.
Right.
Regardless.
Right.
I may not like who's in there, but he's going to get 100% of my respect. Right. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to be a better American for him, right? And it's the same thing with Shoddy right now. Look, was he my choice? No. Mm-hmm. But they felt like they didn't want a ton of turnaround. Right. They wanted to keep it simple, stupid, making sure that Dak and the rest of the offense stays on point and on tack, and they're not turning it around like they did the defense last year. Right. Took them 12 weeks to get some semblance of and they had a ton of injuries as well. I mean, to boot. But they want to stay the course, and they feel like Shoddy's going to keep them intact. I'm okay. I'm gonna ride with it. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna ride with it, and we're gonna find out real soon if he's the guy.
But is it frustrating though when you don't try to go get the best? You're riding with it because he's the guy. And I know you know, but the qualifications is like we.
I mean, look, of course,
that's frustration. This is not the guy everybody wants. So I mean, you can say I'm going with it, but
I mean that's the criticism. That is fundamentally the criticism, because you're like, man, he's been there for a while. Things, he wasn't calling the plays in. I mean, there's a ton of criticisms, right? But they saw something that evidently that I didn't see, right? And we're gonna find out. Like, here's the criticism again. Right. We're gonna find out.
Right.
Do you buy the idea that one thing they've been preaching is, hey, we're able to keep continuity but also get change? And I think that there is some merit to that in terms of offensive play calling, a guy who wasn't calling plays the last 2 years. But in that locker room, in terms of the familiarity, is there a potential danger in keeping continuity from a regime that you just kind of told that, hey, we're going to split up?
Yeah, there's some danger there, but I think that's going to be up to some of the players as well to keep the continuity. Look, and I think if you look at this organization, you look at the players that are within that locker room, and it's time for them to step up. And I know we talk all about coaching and ownership and all, but it also falls on the players, man. It really does. It falls on them to start policing themselves, start showing up on time, doing the right thing, making sure that they're playing not for individual, but for the team. Like, there's a lot of that of falling in line, and I'm not sure if that's where again, I'm not in that locker room, but I'm not sure if everybody's 100% on the same page. I will tell you this though, I watched this team play the entire season, and you ever really want to judge a team to see if they lost respect for the coaching staff or if they're not playing hard? Just look at the special teams. That team played hard, man.
Right.
They played hard for 17 games. They were unrelenting on that special teams. They ran down the field. They tried hard. They had a ton of injuries. They filled a guy in. He kept going hard. Like, there was no quit in this organization. That's why I was surprised when McCarthy left, because I thought, okay, they dealt with a lot of injuries. They had a down year, but they played hard for this guy. So I don't think that's the issue. It's just, what can they do this offseason to find the ways to get better and build on the culture?
Before we let you go, now we've been here for a second, but you brought up Patrick Mahomes. They're going for 3 straight Super Bowl titles. Is there some anger, bitterness? You guys had a chance to get 3 straight Super Bowl titles.
Yeah. Head coach got let go, though.
The head coach. I know you won 3 in 4 years, but you could have won 3 straight. You could have done something unprecedented, and they got taken away from you.
Yeah, it got taken away from us. I was on the show earlier, and I was listening to Troy, and Troy was like, I don't even think about it. And I'm like, yeah. I still think about it.
Right.
I still think about the opportunity because I was caught in the moment. I was in the moment. We were all in the moment of repeating. Like, we just won 2 back-to-back.
Youngest team in the league, all of that.
We knew that we were going to beat San Fran again because we had their number, right? I mean, it was like we just got to stay the course. Right. And I just look, man. At least I felt like we lost. We had like 4. We had at least 4 in us.
Right.
And then things probably would have changed. But I admire greatness, man. Right. I do. I watch Mahomes and what they're doing, and people are taking shots at them about the referees and all that, and they beat them.
Right.
beat them. You got a problem with it? Beat them.
Right.
But until then, man, I remember watching the Bulls back when I was a kid and watching Jordan, and I'm not comparing Jordan to Mahomes and all that, but I watch a team play at the highest level with the Bulls, and now I'm witnessing a team that has a chance to three-peat, and I admire it, man. I really do, because no one knows what they go through.
Right, no
one knows how much work he's putting in and that team is putting in.
No doubt. Well, Cowboys legend Darren Woodson, Super Bowl champ, Hall of Fame finalist. I know a lot of Cowboys fans are pulling for you, but Darren, thank you so much for taking the time.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
Hey, get in a better mood.
I'm good, man.
We got that rock star for him.